Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Protomario, and today's video is a runner-up to the contest of the top 3. These videos were on the line and were in the running for the top 3 spots of the Pokemon Theory contest, and I just ended up choosing the other videos for various reasons. These videos were up there. There is nothing to feel bad about, and they did such a great job. I wanted to present them on my channel as a nice reward in their full glory and their full extent. So without further ado, enjoy these videos.
Hey, YouTubeProtomario here, and today I'm going to do a Pokemon theory, because YOLO. Anywho, my theory is that Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town is brothers with Gary Oak, who is also from Pallet Town, and that they were separated at birth because Delia and whoever the father was had a disagreement or something. I don't know. So he probably wants some kind of proof, evidence, and reasoning, right? Basically, I first got this idea when I was rewatching the first episode and I realized that Ash and Gary share the exact same birthday. Scary, right? Anyway, so we all know how it's Ash's 10th birthday and that's why he's off to collect his first Pokemon. But hey, wait a second then. Then it must be Gary's 10th birthday too, because he's off to collect his first Pokemon as well. And since they live in a town of like, what, 5 people? That's a very scary coincidence. There are other small factors, like why Delia and Professor Oak are so close, why Ash's father is a no-show, and why you never see Gary's parents. Also, the fact that the two grew up together and act like brothers anyway. Anyway, so I leave you with 2 last small factors to think about. 1, Ash's first choice of Pokemon was Squirtle, which is what Gary chose. And 2, Delia has brown hair. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, that's all for me. It's just a theory. I know it's got a lot of plot holes, but hey, so is Pokemon itself. See ya.
Charizard, I choose you! Man, I really need to rethink my life choices.
Has anyone else ever wanted Pokemon to be real? Me too, but guess what? That's not what we're talking about in this episode. Today, we're talking about Pokeballs. For those who don't know, I have no clue why you would be watching this video if you don't, but a Pokeball is a ball that is used by Pokemon trainers to capture Pokemon. It's a really useful device for carrying large or heavy Pokemon like Snorlax or Metagross. Normally, they're about the size of a baseball, but when they're not in use, they become the size of a golf ball. Sports references! Whoa, hold up. How are Pokeballs possible? Well, I am glad you asked. There are a number of different theories about how Pokeballs work. One theory is that the Pokemon is essentially downloaded into the ball and is like launching a software when it's released. Another theory is that the Pokemon is essentially shrunk down to fit into the ball. While this is not actually possible in real life, that seems to be how it's portrayed in the Pokemon manga, which was stated by Pokemon creator Satoshi Tajiri is the closest thing to his original vision of Pokemon. However, the theory that I find most possible to work in real life is one you probably haven't heard of before. I call it the wavelength theory. I found this on Reddit, link in the description, and it actually seems to make sense. Well enough sense to someone without an advanced degree in quantum mechanics. To put it in simple terms, all things have a wavelength, even humans. But a human's wavelength is so small that if it were affected, it wouldn't really affect us. For Pokemon, on the other hand, their wavelengths are most likely larger than those of humans. When the Pokemon is being caught or called back, its wavelength increases and is stored in the Pokeball as light energy. This explains why the inside of the Pokeball has mirrors and just plain looks like it was meant to contain light. When the Pokemon is released, its wavelength decreases and returns to normal. This change in wavelength could also be related to Pokemon evolution because the more experience they gain, the more energy they gain, which is what they convert to matter in order to change their body shape and evolve. It even goes on to explain why we can't catch fainted Pokemon or have PC stores Pokemon. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyways, back to Pokeballs. With the information we have so far, are Pokeballs a possibility in real life? Well, from what I've gathered in my research is no, at least not now. We don't currently have the technology that would allow for the conversion/expansion of light, especially on something like an animal. Another problem with this is how you convert a Pokemon to light. For example, let's take a Pokemon that weighs about 100 kilograms. The amount of energy necessary for the Pokemon to be converted into light energy and to be stored in the ball would be about 10 to the 18th power joules, which is roughly the same amount of energy as 10,000 atomic bombs. Also, the ball would have to weigh the same as the Pokemon because gravity affects mass and energy equally. This problem could actually be solved with the Pokeball management system, something that was referenced in Pokemon Destiny the Access.
Pokeball management system isn't functioning.
It seems to have something to do with powering the Pokeballs, as Ash and company were unable to call out their Pokemon. Converting matter into energy would take a lot of power, so maybe it involves some sort of wireless power transference, but yet again, I'm not a scientist. Maybe it's where the Pokemon actually goes as opposed to going in the Pokeball, which solves our weight problem. Pokeballs might also explain why a random Pokemon can be good friends with you just after a few seconds in the ball. In Pokemon X and Y episode 62, Ash and company come across the Lumio's power plant. Team Rocket uses the power plant to create Pokemon control waves to control a bunch of electric-type Pokemon. Perhaps the same technology is used in Pokeballs on a much smaller scale to make the Pokemon listen. This may also explain why the Pokemon world isn't being constantly destroyed by Pokemon like Haxorus and Noivern. Perhaps these Pokemon control waves are used on an international scale to make every Pokemon within a city's limits docile. This could explain how Pokemon like Alakazam don't destroy the world with an IQ of 5,000, or why a Pokemon like Magcargo, who can reach temperatures of up to 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit, doesn't turn a city into a pool of rocky magma. Much like real-life animals, Pokemon need to be controlled somehow within a rural area. There are a few minor holes in this theory, but otherwise it is the most rational explanation we have as to how Pokeballs work. Until they actually exist, Pokeballs will remain one of the greatest and mysterious things in the Pokemon universe. One can only hope that maybe one day, Pokemon can exist. Thanks for watching today's theory. If you found yourself enjoying this video at any point, then please leave a like for more videos. If you want to see even more of my stuff, then why not hit that subscribe button. If you like me as a person, you can follow me on Twitter for Twitter things. Don't forget to leave your thoughts, opinions, and suggestions in the comment section below. If you didn't realize from the title, this is a submission video to Protomario, who is holding a contest for who can make a better Pokemon theory than him, so this video may seem a little bit different from my other videos because it is one of those submissions. So, thank you for watching. My name is Matt, aka Chunky Monkey Games, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.
Why is it that Piloswine can't evolve into Mamoswine in Generation 2, but it can in Generation 4? Why is this, even though the events of Diamond and Pearl are set around the same time as the Lake of Rage events from Generation 2? Well, I have a fairly complex explanation for all this. Let's get started. In the Pokemon games Diamond, Pearl, Soul Silver, Black 2, White 2, Y, and Alpha Sapphire's Pokédex entries all state that the Mamoswine population began to decline as the weather around the end of the Ice Age began to warm up. So how is this stopping Piloswine from evolving then? It's because of the lack of Mamoswine. Since all Piloswine has to do to evolve into Mamoswine is level up while knowing the move Ancient Power, and because the warming of weather seems to only affect the Mamoswine, it means that all Piloswine that knew Ancient Power slowly began to die off as they evolved into Mamoswine. Since there are no Mamoswine that still knew Ancient Power left able to breed in Johto, the move Ancient Power was slowly forgotten in the local Swinub population. Since the only way for Swinub and Piloswine to know Ancient Power in Generation 2 without the help of humans is for it to have it as an egg move, since Swinub can't learn Ancient Power by normally leveling up. That last statement brings up an interesting question. What Pokemon would a Swinub or Piloswine have to breed with to get the move Ancient Power as an egg move in Generation 2? Well, the closest Pokemon other than Swinub and Piloswine themselves is Dunsparce. But Piloswine or Swinub breeding with a Dunsparce that happens to know Ancient Power would be rather difficult without the assistance of humans, because based on the Pokédex description of Dunsparce, it is safe to assume that Dunsparce does not like being seen by anything, even other Pokemon. The Pokédex entry from Gold goes as followed. When spotted, this Pokemon accepts backwards by ferociously boring into the ground with its tail. This statement and its variations can be found in the Pokemon games Gold, Silver, Stadium 2, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black 2, White 2, and X. But wait, the theory does not end there. I still have not explained why there are Mamoswine in Sinnoh. Sinnoh is located on the northern boundaries of the world, where the temperature is cooler. The Pokédex entries of Platinum, Heart Gold, Black, White, X, and Omega Ruby all state that a frozen Mamoswine was dug up from soil dating back 10,000 years. It woke up to much amazement. This Mamoswine was still alive, and possibly was dug up in Sinnoh. Since the first entry in the Pokédex that states this is Pokemon Platinum's, and that Sinnoh is colder than other regions. This Mamoswine possibly still knew the move Ancient Power. Swinub natively live at Route 217 and Aquity Lakefront in Sinnoh. It's possible that this surviving Mamoswine bred with either the native Piloswine or Swinubs and passed on the move Ancient Power to its offspring. Thanks so much for watching my theory video. I worked really hard on this one to put out the best quality I could possible. I would really appreciate it if you subscribed, liked, favorited, or even commented on this video. Again, I thank you for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one.
Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images attained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights. So please remember this when watching my Pokemon theories. Thanks.